Financial stress is no joke. Money is the most common source of stress for most adults. In fact, 74% of Americans pinpoint money as their primary stress source when it comes to their day-to-day lives. Unfortunately, financial stress can have some serious long-term health effects, not just to our mental health, but also to our physical health, making us more susceptible to disease and potential substance abuse. Now, financial stress is a complex area and there is no one solution fits all, as we all come from different backgrounds and have unique experiences. But from my 9 years in the finance field, I have pinpointed financial stress to generally 3 different areas. This relates to job security, cost of living, and debt obligations, essentially a finance stress triad. Now, my goal is to release a library of videos, essentially a series, where we discuss different financial tools which can help combat these different financial stress points and lead to increased financial stability. And in this video, we'll be starting with a simple but effective financial tool called the emergency fund. This is a bedrock tool which all of us should be implementing, and I'm about to explain exactly why. So what is an emergency fund? Essentially, an emergency fund is a savings account which has been set aside for any future but unexpected expenses. This could be anything: job loss, car repairs, medical bills, or any other unexpected financial setbacks which we may face in the future. Think of the emergency fund as a safety net. It's there to catch you. It's there to stop you going into financial despair should you have any big setbacks in life which you weren't planning for. Now, let's break down with some real life examples why an emergency fund is so important. And we're going to relate this back to the financial stress triad which we discussed: job security, cost of living, and debt obligations. Let's take the first financial stress point, job security. So imagine you lose your job in a world where 64% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Without some sort of emergency fund, the extreme reality is you could lose your housing if you're unable to keep up with your housing payments while you try to get back on your feet. And this is how the emergency fund steps in. It covers these expenses while you try to get yourself back on your feet. Let's take the second financial stress point, cost of living. Now, how many families were unable to pay their gas and electric bills over the winter when energy prices just shot up dramatically? An emergency fund would help combat such situations by ensuring you can navigate this short-term volatility, as you have that buffer, that safety net of liquid cash. And the third financial stress point, debt obligations. How many times have you been driving your car and you've heard your car just make an unhealthy sound? And the first thought you have is, I really can't afford to pay for a repair right now. Situations like this lead us to having to make payments on a credit card or take out a loan. And this increases our financial burden as we now have to make monthly interest payments on top of the unexpected expense we had. An emergency fund again ensures you have a safety net, that liquid cash, so you can make these payments and you don't have to pay interest charges by putting expenses on a credit card or taking out a loan. So how much money should you have in this emergency fund and set aside? Well, most experts recommend at least 3 to 6 months of living expenses. But as I said at the beginning of this video, everyone comes from varying backgrounds, so this figure will vary on your circumstances. If you're just starting out on this journey, you may feel a bit overwhelmed having to save that much. Well, to give you some context, I have about £5,000 in my emergency fund, and that took me 8 months to save. So start small and build slow. You don't need to save that figure overnight. It does take some time to build it, but the key is you're trying to build it slowly. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is financial stability. And the final question, where should you keep this emergency fund? There's no need to overcomplicate this. Just keep it in a normal savings account. By doing that, it's out of sight and out of mind. The one tip I would give, however, is keep your emergency fund in a different bank compared to the bank you use for your day-to-day spending. So it stops you spending the money. It's like you don't even have it there. And that's the one thing when it comes to financial stability. It is a psychological game. A lot of us see the money in our bank account go up and we just naturally start to spend it. Everyone does it. I'm guilty of it myself. So small tips like this will help you save more in the long run. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, ensure you leave a like and subscribe for more videos on personal finance.